Arena. The Los Angeles Kings and the Washington Capitals squaring off for you on a Sunday night with the NHL on NBC Sports Washington. Vitek Vanacek and Garrett Sparks preparing to face the enemy shooters. Second time for Peter Laviolette's squad against these LA Kings. About a month ago in Los Angeles, the Caps were victorious. Ilya Samsonov whitewashed Todd McClellan's squad in that one. A 2-0 victory for Alex Ovechkin and the Caps, thanks to a couple of goals from Garnet Hathaway. This Sunday night kickoff, ready to roll. The on-ice officials, and we see just 3 to start this contest. Referees are Kelly Sutherland and Corey Severette. The lone linesman for the moment is Brad Kovacic. Washington, just a quick pit stop here at home before the holidays. They've got a game in Philadelphia to come on Tuesday and one on Long Island before the Christmas break. They entertain the Kings tonight. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs. Al Kokins, your ringside reporter, as Vitek Vanacek latches on. You see Peter Laviolette's line combinations and deep pairings top of the screen.
And just touching on the officials, there's reports out there that 12 to 13 officials and linesmen have been in protocol for COVID. And a couple of nights ago, 3 games were used with a 3-man system. So it's not unusual during the times we're going through.
Face-off control for the Kings. Arvidsson snapped it at the cage. Sherry leaves for Orlov, and he's backtracked well by Trevor Moore. Thinking back to a month ago's meeting between these two, Moore had several outstanding chances against Samsonov, and the Russian netminder saved the day for the Caps as this one winds up on the LA bench, still inside the game's first minute.
No, the big thing for the Kings coming off a game last night in Carolina where they were blown out in Raleigh 5-1. The coach after the game says they were quicker, harder, faster, more determined. So the start is going to be imperative, and that's all the coach would have talked about before this game tonight.
Last night, Carolina did a Scorpions on the Kings, right? They rocked them like a hurricane in the first 2 minutes. This is deflected. Sparks makes the save, and he'll cover. As we get you to the Toyota Star Trek, it sets the goalie matchup.
Yeah, Garrett Sparks gets the nod for the LA Kings in his career. 14-18-2, 3.1897. He's toiled in East Coast Hockey League in the American League recently. Vitek Vanacek played 2 of the last 3 games now. 27 wins in his career and some nice tidy GAA and save percentage numbers.
If we understood it correctly, Cal Peterson was supposed to start last night against Carolina. He was pulled off of the morning skate COVID protocol. Jonathan Quick lost last night. He was backed up by Jacob Ingham from the ECHL while they were getting Sparks in from the American League.
Yeah, and Jonathan Quick has played back-to-backs before. Because of his age, though, it's hard at his age now, being mid-30s. I mean, he did it back in 15-16 when he played a set of back-to-backers.
Herndon, Virginia's own Joe Snively out there, 91 in the red, getting his first touch of NHL action. Beck Malenstein helping out on the wing. Christian Wolanin hovering over Snively back behind Sparks' net.
So exciting. It just shows you about the growth of hockey here in the DMV. Great to see him in the lineup.
McMichael on the wrap, snuffed out by Sparks. Snapshot towards the cage is rejected. End to end, and back comes Kapari. Rasmus Kapari on his backhand feeds the slot area, and that one's jammed, but no goal. We're seeing an interference call from referee Sutherland.
I think it was a push of the Capitals defenseman into the goalie. Vitek Vanacek.
Number 91, 2 minutes for interference.
And it's going to be Grundstrom heading off. I mean, he pushed the D right into Vitek, and then the follow-up went into the net. Here's the play along the wall. Pretty good pivot, but excellent defense, and there's the push. And definitely an interference call. It happened even before he hit the goaltender. That little push right there sends Grundstrom to the box. Here comes a Capitals power play.
Inside the game's first 2 minutes. These power play numbers are powered by Hydro. Alex Ovechkin and John Carlson at the point positions. Ovechkin closes in, fires! That's blocked in front there by Kopitar. For such a long time, an outstanding two-way center. Rotate for Ovechkin's drive, right to the belly button of Sparks.
And Sparks in his career has faced 22 different NHL teams. but he's never faced Alex Ovechkin in the Caps. So maybe Alex will score on another goaltender. He's up in huge numbers in his career. This one, a pretty darn good looking save by Sparks. He's a tall netminder that has a pretty darn good butterfly.
With every windup of the grade 8, a shot at NHL history in the making, as he is tied for most power play goals all time at the moment with Dave Andreychuk.
They better take advantage because they haven't been getting many power play chances. Just 15 power plays the last 8 games, less than 2 a game. So you got to strike when the iron's hot.
This will bounce past Ovechkin and force Carlson to come across to play at center. 2.5 minutes in, nothing in DC. Caps with 4 of the first 5 shots on goal. An aerial taken down by Eller. Around for Orlov, who works the half board. Eller's next. Orlov up top, Carlson. 2-man game. Orlov sneaks this one down low for Eller. That wraparound pass was snared and cleared in one fell swoop.
Pretty solid penalty killing there, which hasn't been the real mainstay for this LA Kings team this season. That's pretty staunch. The way they held the Caps to the outside and had their sticks in lanes, not preventing those passes going down low, worked out well to start this power play.
Sean Durzi will clear. Grundstrom has another 40 seconds in the sin bin. Schultz on the second wave of the Washington power play, which is missing an awful lot of potent forwards to injury, to illness, and COVID protocol. Crisscrossing through center, Kopitar on his backhand, wanting to play some keep away now. He'll send this all the way back into his own zone.
That was a heavy hit, doled out by Hathaway, returning to the lineup. He got right into the mix. He's one of the guys that leads the Caps when it comes to hits just about every game. He got one there on Kopitar.
At point position, Schultz, 3 seconds in the man advantage. Alexei Protas feeds to Hathaway, bump it back. Schultz this way, Ovechkin fires, and a pad save for Sparks. 2 shots on the power play for the Capitals, turned aside by an LA team that surrendered a couple of power play goals last night. Grundstrom out of the box with a backhand, stopped by Vanacek, and the netminder has it beneath him for the whistle.
Well, it's a penalty killing unit that allowed 8 goals in the last 9 games. Just over 70% for Grundstrom and the PK unit. Here's the big hit by Hathaway. Welcome back. And that is one big rig to take down in Kopitar. Alex Ovechkin tees one up. Good right toe save on the big pads of Sparks, or Sparky, I'm sure is his nickname.
Well, it is for you.
It is now.
Didn't take you long. This will get past Roy deep into LA territory and turn out to be icing against the Capitals.
Hagelin, real good game against Winnipeg the other night on Friday. He played 19 minutes and 20 seconds. We thought the threesome would be reunited tonight. Not the way so far. Dowd, Hagelin, and Hathaway, not so. It looks like he's balanced the 4 lines more so than anything. A little bit of a dynamic on each line that he wants to bring against the Kings here in the first for Laviolette.
Peter Laviolette has a couple of former Kings at his disposal. Hagelin and Dowd. Faravari working through center. Gets to the outside and brushes this back behind the LA net. 5-on-5 play. Caps out shooting the Kings 5-2 at the moment. Lemieux through center with Kaliev, not going to get through there. This is whistled down for a hand pass. Folks, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Save on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile as Lemieux gets under people's skin.
That's what he does. Might even bite you. Look out. He had a 5-game suspension recently for biting.
Ottawa's Brady Tkachuk. A little bit shy of the 5-minute mark. The first meeting between these two teams, Locker, you'll admit, was not a Picasso by any stretch.
Nope.
It turned out to be just fine for Washington as Malenstein works at the top of the forecheck. McMichael on the feed. It came on through Snively all the way back into the DC zone.
Wasn't that the game I thought I might have rather had a root canal?
That might have been what you said. Yeah. Maybe after midnight local time, as we were calling that one. Malenstein on his way down, offside on the entry against the Caps.
Well, the Caps trying to get some more shots here against Sparks. The youngsters have definitely been given an opportunity this season. McMichael, I loved his year last year. I think it really improved coming to the camp this year, and it's kicked off the season with some good numbers. I mean, 28 games, 8 points. Top first-round pick for the Caps in 19.
Those 3 tallies for Connor, a couple of them against the Florida Panthers. How about the LA Kings finishing up a grisly road trip? When you're talking about facing some tough teams, they have come east and squared off against Tampa, Florida, and Carolina, and now finish it up with Washington.
And they got points in their first game, 3-2 loss in overtime to Tampa, and then beat the Panthers, only to lose last night 5-1, where the speed really showed for Carolina.
Jensen on the perimeter, dodging Dustin Brown, longtime heavy hitter for the Kings. Dowd, who was drafted by LA, turns, walks right in, feeds to Orlov on his backhand, denied by Sparks, and the mask comes flying off the goalie's head.
Yeah, they got a break there because 2 Kings collided, and that allowed them to break through. Kapari, and it looked like the big fella, Anze Kopitar. And because of that, the Capitals had a good lane to the net. Watch, there they are, right top of the screen. The big collision, that allows Orlov a good lane to the net. Gets the pass, he works it down low. Orly trying to go top shelf, sort of a shovel backhand. Doesn't get it up high, but all stems from the collision of 2 Kings at one time at the top of the circle.
The backhand from Orlov, rattling the fillings there of Garrett Sparks. You mentioned the win for LA against Florida. Jonathan Quick's 41 saves was fabulous in that game. Sparks made another pad save there on a tricky deflection in tight.
That was a fabulous deflection by Lars Eller, who's been running hot. That was a dandy with the right pad, staying with that bouncing puck from high to low.
Carlson fires, that's deflected to the back glass. Lars Eller with goals in 3 of his last 4. Centering feed, Ovechkin's quick trigger, didn't convert. Faravari back to the captain. Ovechkin on the toe drag, stopped in his tracks by Roy. Kempe the other way. Will filter this into the Washington zone.
That was a pretty good job by Roy, sticking with Ovechkin, and the curl and drag, try to put it through his feet. Roy's played well for LA, considering their top 3D are arguably out. Doughty, Edler, and Walker, all not in the lineup.
Doughty on COVID protocol. Snapshot here from Kapari. That went wide. And as it's back out through center, the Kings will play in. Grundstrom going after Schultz. Around the wall for Hathaway. Garnett missed 5 games on the COVID protocol list. At the line offside against Washington. 7 minutes, 8 seconds into the opening period. We'll get you back to Capital One in just a few moments. 18th victory of the season. That was a win at Winnipeg, but we're thinking about some Duncan fueled performances. It's not like the Caps like to dwell on losses.
No, great teams pride themselves in never getting into a slide, even if it's a 2-gamer. 46 consecutive games without 2 straight regulation losses, tied for the 6th longest streak in team history.
Chance for Peter Laviolette tonight to make some history, move in among the top 10 all-time head coaches in terms of total wins. Been knocking on that door for a while now. This Washington team began the day tied for first in the Metro with Carolina, a Hurricanes squad that bested LA an evening ago 5-1. McMichael will drop it in. This is off the glass and back out to center. Schultz on the back pedal with Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk, who did not play in Winnipeg, would not have been allowed to cross the border. Same for Hathaway, or Dowd, I should say, in that instance. Washington losing the services of TJ Oshie and Michael Scarbosa on the COVID list today. Little give and go interchange, doorstep. Stop there. Score! McMichael.
Sparks has made some excellent stops. McMichael gets that puck through him. And I think we may have a first again tonight. I wouldn't be surprised. Snively picks up an assist here with a give and go. And he will indeed get his first National Hockey League point from 25 miles away from where he grew up. So Snively the pass. There's the pass in front to McMichael. He puts it through the goalie. The family, the Snively's in attendance with a ton of friends, family and friends in attendance. You can see the exuberance there for the point.
Mom Hope, Dad Richard leading the cheers. Better than 17,000 inside of Capital One Arena. Washington once again doing the trick of getting on the board first. McMichael's 4th of the season. Shy of the 8-minute mark, beating Garrett Sparks. Eller kicks it loose for Sprong. Eller, Sprong, and Ovechkin tonight as a trio. The Kings going the other way. Anderson on the drop. Arvidsson ran right into Orlov. Ovechkin takes that one out of the air on a crisscross with Dowd not going through the defense. Put up by Kempe. Point position Orlov. Settles and fires. That's blocked by Moore. Ovechkin relays back on top to Jensen. Switch it up for Orlov. 5-on-5 continues. Almost halfway home in the first period. McMichael giving Washington the lead on home ice. Anderson didn't get it out. Right up the gut here. Leeson fires. Snared by Sparks.
It could be 2 or 3-0 already other than Sparks, but the Caps did get to him, and it's a nice play by Snively and McMichael working a give and go. There's the give, there's the go, and the follow-up over the right shoulder. What a dandy shot. And Snively, the local boy, just did great. He's always been a guy around the net. I mean, he leads Hershey. He's got 8 goals, 14 points, 14 assists, 22 points in 21 games, Joe. He's been terrific in the American League.
Posted a hat trick at the American Hockey League level against Springfield and said that really enlivened his offensive game, boosted the confidence. Jensen flings one at the goal, a ricochet that belongs to Dustin Brown. Brown goes from wing to wing through center. Dowd is there to muddy it up for the Caps. This is brushed in back behind Vitek Vanacek, who has a 1-goal lead to protect. Washington out shooting LA 11-3 in the early going. Hagelin drops it off. This is Leeson. Odd man rush developing to the front, just missing there on the tap-in try. He was looking for the defenseman Jensen. Brown maneuvers around Orlov, who tied him up. Alexei Protas feathers it on for Hathaway. Hathaway turns the corner, plays it on for Connor Sherry. They work the cycle to the high slot. Van Riemsdyk peppered one right on, and Sparks made that save. Mark him down for 11 already, as this is icing against the Kings.
Yeah, he's been very solid. He's a big goaltender. He's got a good range side to side, and he's really kept the Kings in this hockey game. Here's Leeson, left side of the screen. There's Jensen. Good back check there. Coming back hard was Kempe. He's been doing that a lot recently. Hard slap shot by TVR. Blocker, waffle glove, kicks that to the corner. Should be 2 or 3-0 here. Sparks is keeping them in the game.
Leeson, who had a goal and an assist at Canada Life Center in Winnipeg back on Friday, continuing to pile up his chances. Dursey dumped it in, wanted a call to the Kings. None from the referees tonight. Sutherland and Savret. Ovechkin gave it up at center on the back track. That's Lias Anderson, former Rangers draft pick. Maneuvering in there for a backhand that just rolled wide from Kapari. Fans reacting. Vanacek has a lot of company in the crease. Finally, the whistle comes, and there is a penalty here. The officials will get things sorted out. Lias Anderson back to his skates. Washington on top by 1. Board locker. These teams have received a big boost from their babies.
Yeah, take a look at most rookies with a point. The Capitals tied with the Sharks now after that nice little assist by number 91, worn by Fedorov and Grayovac. He's the third one to put that number on and have that jersey. local kid, has done very well, and Joe Snively. Sharks, Blues, Kings, Wild, and Ducks have relied on some youngsters this season.
Sunday night in the NHL here in D.C., Lars Eller was assessed the minor penalty as we were heading out to TV break. So the Caps are shorthanded here. 1-0 advantage. McMichael from Snively, just shy of the 8-minute mark. These power play numbers that are powered by Hydro. First chance on the man advantage for LA this evening. They were 0 for 3 an evening ago in Raleigh. Sparks will sweep this for Kempe. Dangerous winger. Third leading point producer on this squad.
Well, they're goal starved, and their power play hasn't helped them out much, Joe. One power play goal in their last 6 games. When you're not scoring 5-on-5, you've got to try to connect with the extra man.
Both of these squads are in power play droughts. Durzi's at the point. Moves for Kopitar. Bump it inside, get it right back. Slap shot Durzi. Squeeze there. Vanacek has it. Long enough for the whistle.
That's an excellent squeeze by Vanacek. There was nothing coming off his body. Makes that look rather easy when it really wasn't. That was a difficult slap shot from Durzi at the point with some traffic in front. Here comes the shot. And look at all the screen in front. It actually hits Kempe, the forward. And that was a wacko of a weird deflection off the body. And that's a 10-beller there right into the belly of the goaltender.
Vanacek, who had a season-high 40 stops against the Jets a couple nights ago, was brilliant in that performance. He and the Caps a man down for another 115. Arvidsson plays it topside for Durzi. Bring it this way to Kopitar. Durzi straight away. Snapshot deflected by Hathaway. That took a bite out of Garnett's hand. Durzi fires another one that's deflected wide. Iafallo and Kempe looking for the tip-ins. Kopitar yanks that one high. Kept in at the offensive end for the Kings. On the man advantage, another 48 seconds. Little give and go inside. Iafallo jammed it high. Arvidsson and the Kings moving it well with a man up. Arvidsson plays it up top. Kopitar looking for the deflection. That catches the glass. It winds up off of the rink for a whistle.
Iafallo had the best opportunity in sight. A good 3-way passing play by Kopitar in the power play. Iafallo just high and hard over the blocker's side of Vitek Vanacek. Here's the puck movement. Kopitar gets it up high, goes down low, and watch the man in front. That's Iafallo from Kempe, and he just jammed it high. A little bit of a knock of his stick, possibly, by Hathaway dropping back down low, prevented that puck from tying this game up.
Iafallo with points in 2 of his last 3. We get a misdraw here. Linesman Brad Kovacic wants to do it again. Just a reminder, if you did not join us at the top of the show, Iafallo checking things out at the bench. Kovacic is the lone linesman on the ice. Originally, Julien Fournier was scheduled to be with Kovacic. We do not see him, though. Just 3 officials in the zebra stripes for this one, as Orlov will sprinkle it on down. 7:25 to go in the opening period. Orlov keeping tabs on Anderson. So too Carl Hagelin. Wolanin, son of a former NHLer, didn't get that one deep.
Yeah, his dad Craig played close to 700 games in the National Hockey League. More of a defensive defenseman than any type of offense.
Lars Eller breezing back through center. Jensen joins the rush. Ovechkin hanging out. Snap pass that's deflected. Alex gets another chance. Fakes the slapper. Brown will clear it the length of the pond. This is icing against LA.
Yeah, they didn't want to take any chance whatsoever. The veteran Brown all the way down the ice. Orlov and the Caps have had a very good period. They've worked the puck a lot in the LA zone. Pretty good penalty kill on that last one. Tied for 5th in the NHL when you look at plus minus is Dimitri.
At plus 19, his D partner has been terrific too, right? All season long. Nick Jensen in that regard.
Plus 20 coming into tonight's game.
Caps get the draw. Van Riemsdyk sends it around the curve for Lars Eller. His pass intended for Schultz. That was swiped and cleared by Grundstrom. Van Riemsdyk ahead, connecting with Ovechkin. Alex decelerates. The feed to the front that's gobbled up by Lemieux. white jerseyed LA, finishing up the road trip in DC. A mark of 13, 11, and 5. They're tied for 5th in the Pacific when play began today. Going along pretty well. 4-1-1 in their last 6. Ovechkin looks cross rink, had it blocked by Lizotte. Lizotte scored a beauty of a goal last night. The only one for the Kings.
Inside, outside, and a roofer. And that was a beauty. That was the only thing they could really feed off of last night, was his goal.
We'll get you back to DC in this opening period. McMichael's given Washington a 1-0 lead. As we get to the VW game notes locker, not bad for an elder statesman.
Most points by a player 35 or older through 30 games, or only Mario Lemieux better than the Washington Capitals captain Alex Ovechkin. He's ahead of Gordie Howe and Marty St. Louis. If you're thinking of Washington Capitals, Dennis Maruk, the only guy better than Alex Ovechkin at any age, with 48 points through the first 30 games.
I know that you know Marty pretty well, but does he allow you to call him St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't call him Marty St. Louis?
No.
Okay.
St. Louis.
Just St. Louis. That's only for the in crowd. Grundstrom chases it down. Along the backboards, Dowd there for Washington. With help from Carlson, able to get it clear. 91 in the red is Joe Snively, playing his first NHL game tonight. He's picked up an assist on that McMichael marker. Kapari, snapshot, no worries for Vitek Vanacek as the Kings are in the middle of a line change. Dursey, who would have become LA property via the deal that landed Jake Muzzin in Toronto. Iafallo tracked along the boards. They jam for it. Wolanin at point position. Skipped it wide of the goal. Snively tried to golf that away. Didn't get it clear for Mikey Anderson. Dodging the referee Sutherland in the process with 4:50 to go in the period and a delayed penalty call coming up.
I think it's going to go against the Caps, holding the stick possibly, and he spun him around. Or it could be just a hold, but they're going to go off here. Good battle along the wall there, and it's going to be Mellenstein heading off. He sort of pulled the man around.
2 minutes for holding.
And once he threw him around, the referee was right there to make that call. 2 minutes for holding. Fans don't like it. Good compete down low. Right arm, and then he twists him. And Anderson will draw the minor penalty. They go to their power play once again to the Kings.
When the Capitals are victorious, Locker, their penalty killing is 89%. They're on the job again for the second time in this period. These power play numbers are powered by Hydro. 4:40 with which to work in the first. Kings will get it set quickly. That's the dangerous Arvidsson with a puck. Feeding down low. Working around for Kempe. Dursey's rocket broken up in front. Iafallo stick handled into traffic, and Hagelin speeds the other direction with Lars Eller. Hagelin winds and fires. Stopped by Sparks. He has the rebound surrounded. He was encouraged to play it.
Yeah, I think Hathaway, or excuse me, I think Hagelin thought the whistle was going to go, and he sort of turned away, and that's when Sparks passed it to his D-man.
Anze Kopitar for Dursey. Play it around the horn. Kings again get it set. Man up for another 70 seconds. Kopitar's wrister hit the cross traffic. Carlson there to give it a whack. Kempe was in the way. Arvidsson relays to Dursey. Getting the puck to cooperate now for Kopitar. Dursey kept it at the line. Kopitar scanning the Washington defense. Dursey, no shooting lane. Kopitar, ditto, feed it inside on the high tip play. It went through Iafallo, and Dowd makes a break for it for Washington. Nick Dowd to the outside, wrestling with Dursey. 35 seconds left in the kill for Washington. Sean Dursey's been out there the whole time, the 23-year-old Ontario native.
Pulling Doughty play. Doughty usually plays a full 2 minutes on the power play also.
A rare season for the Caps and Kings, Locker, where you and I are robbed of 2 different Doughty-Ovechkin clashes.
Yeah, I
Those
know.
are always so much fun to watch.
I love it.
We didn't get a chance to see it a month ago, nor tonight.
No, he was coming back. He came back, did Drew Doughty, off that knee injury where he was popped down low with a low hit, comes back, plays a couple of games, now he's in COVID protocol.
Andreas Athanasiou, Alex Edler, Sean Walker, Quentin Byfield, all on the injured list for LA. Byfield, one of the highly touted prospects.
He started to play in the American League. They hope to have him back by the start of the new year.
Lars Eller going to play this on down. Malenstein will be set free in 8 seconds from the penalty box. We are less than 3 minutes away from Integrate Intermission Live. Alexa Landestoy and Alan May preparing for that. The Kings did not have a shot on goal during that man advantage. Alexei Protas jams it ahead. Sherry with a neat move. Orlov has a 2-on-1 developing with Malenstein. Orlov fires. Pad save Sparks.
Yeah, that's a great save by Sparks. Right toe. And not a big rebound. That was sort of a 3-on-1. It stemmed from the fact that Orlov was activating. Orlov's been all over the place here in the first.
Justin Schultz for Washington. Sends it on around for Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Turned back by Lemieux. On the wall, Ovechkin deflecting this. Trying to start Sherry through center. Protas angles in. At the line, offside against the Caps.
Jailbreak time for the Washington Capitals, right from their far blue line, and up the ice they go. It was Connor Sherry that made that whole play, and here's that 2-on-1 in isolation of it. Malenstein couldn't find that loose puck as it kicked off the pad. Excellent job by Sparks waiting for the shot. He was really patient. He didn't think, he knew the guy was over there. He knew Malenstein was there, but he waited for the shot to come off of Orlov, who's had 2 real good looks this period.
Sparks has a couple of buddies on this LA squad, namely Grundstrom and Moore, who would have been with him when they were winning the Calder Cup in the American Hockey League with the Toronto Marlies.
Yeah, he won the Hap Holmes lowest GAA in the American Hockey League. He was terrific, and he won the cup down there.
Jonathan Quick is the backup for the Kings tonight. Cal Peterson is on COVID-19 protocol list. Originally, I think the intention was for Quick to play the game tonight. They wanted Peterson to play against the Canes last night. Hagelin hovering back behind the net. Jensen this way for Van Riemsdyk. My apologies, it's Schultz at right point. Leeson turns it. Good news for the Caps. I watched every step of Tom Wilson's morning skate. He looks to be getting closer and closer to a return.
That's a great sign. When he's on the ice flying around, such an important ingredient to the success of this hockey club.
Kuznetsov, Backstrom, Oshie, Scarbosa, all on COVID-19 protocol. Messrs. Irwin and Cholowski are the healthy scratches tonight for the Caps with 70 seconds to go in the period. Lizotte on the reverse. This is banked back through center. It'll come all the way down, and it's icing against the Kings in the McNugget minute of the opening period.
John Carlson hustles back. He's been very good recently. His first 14 games, 9 points, a -1. His last 16 games, John's picked up 17 points, 14 helpers, and he's a +13.
Should the Capitals score in this last minute of any regulation period, a free 6-piece McNugget with a minimum $1 purchase. Available only on the McDonald's app the next day. Just a reminder, be sure you check out some of the other great deals on the McDonald's app. Caps have been feeding the hungry lately with goals in the last minute.
They really have.
Periods.
Dursey makes a great play here on that last face-off. That was directly out to Alex Ovechkin, right in his wheelhouse, and he drilled it, but Dursey, the defenseman, jumped on the play. He was waiting for that to happen. Alex Ovechkin, 21 points, 10 of them goals in his last 13 overall.
Riding a 7-game point scoring streak for Ovechkin. Began play today number 3 overall in the league point scoring race. Final 50 seconds of the first. Connor McMichael gave Washington the lead. Herndon, Virginia's Joe Snively with the assist. Ovechkin on his way down, finds a mate there for a snapshot from Eller that went wide. Roy clears it on for Kempe as Kempe maneuvers through center. Eller was there to keep an eye on Kopitar. 28 seconds left in the period. The Capitals badly out shooting LA, but Garrett Sparks has performed well in the cage for the Kings. Ovechkin sends it out wide for Faravari. Using the boards to go indirect for Sprong. Then Eller off for Ovechkin. One-touch passing to John Carlson. 6 seconds in the period. They're tied up along the boards. That's where this opening frame will come to its end. 1-0 for Washington.
Pretty darn good period overall for the guys in red here on home ice. They outshot the Kings 15-5. The Kings were hoping for a faster start. Did not get that. A nice goal by McMichael over the right shoulder of Sparks. The only thing to beat their netminder.
It's amazing. LA is not a slow or not a fast starting team. They've only had the lead after the first period 3 times all season. They don't have the lead tonight. McMichael made it so for Santa and the Caps. A 1-0 advantage after 20. We are on our way to integrate intermission live. From here at Capital One, back to the studio. Checking in with Alexa and Alan. Here at Capital One, back to the studio. Checking in with Alexa and Alan. Speaking for our entire NBC Sports Washington family, to you and yours, we wish you all the very best for the holidays. A happy and healthy new year for all of us. Connor McMichael in the pink in the opening period. From Snively, his 4th of the season, just shy of the 8-minute mark, giving Washington the advantage. Second and final get-together in this cross-conference clash, with Washington on home ice for just a brief stay. Scheduled to be in Philadelphia Tuesday, a game that will be aired nationally. Sort of. Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did.
Nick Jensen just made sure that puck hit the glass just enough to get it out of a little bit of pressure. And there's that +20 we were talking about in the first period, tied for 2nd best in the National Hockey League. He's just been motoring, and since a drop of the puck to start this season, I mean, talk about getting up in the play. Following the coach's directions. Laviolette likes to play with the D joining the attack. He's definitely done that all season long.
Trevor Moore turning in against Lars Eller, kicked out of the dot. 28-year-old Victor Arvidsson will step in for LA. This Kings team with 31 points. Remember, they began the season just 1 win in their first 7. Opened up at 1-5-1. Playing much better hockey, a resurgence from Jonathan Quick in the cage, although we're seeing Garrett Sparks tonight. Iafallo arm-barred by Faravari. We begin the second period at even and full strength. A 1-0 advantage for the guys in the red sweaters.
And the guys in white want to keep it as tight as possible. They just don't score, so it's going to be a grinded-out type hockey game.
Arvidsson swept it through the goal mouth. Moore is next, leaves to Arvidsson, centering pass deflected, flexed out of the air by Ovechkin, but not out. Arvidsson's snapshot skips in there on Vitek Vanacek. Credit him with 6 stops in this game. Centering pass, that was almost an aerial bat for Dursey that went wide. Sprong able to clear it. A makeshift lineup for the Capitals and Peter Laviolette, with players on the injured list, the COVID-19 protocol list, changing, it seems, by the minute, by the hour.
The Capitals have not had their full lineup this season, not for 1 game, as expected coming out of training camp.
TJ Oshie and Michael Scarbosa landing on that COVID protocol list today as we get some friction back behind the net.
And in the middle of it is Lemieux. He always does that. He grabbed TBR, then he's trying to get a hold of Malenstein to go. And there he's going to get the extra minor for this. He's definitely the instigator as he came flying in. We'll see how they see it. That's how I see it from up here.
That should be 5 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Give them both 5, but give him the instigator.
No, I'd give him 5 and Malenstein 2 for roughing.
Gotcha.
At best.
Gotcha.
'25-year-old Brendan Lemieux closing in on 200 games. Malenstein saying, what in the world were you thinking?
And it's just after a whistle, and here comes Lizotte, and then Lemieux gets right into it and immediately grabs the helmet of TBR, and that's when all heck breaks loose. And we'll see if the Capitals get a power play out of this.
Malenstein did come in there and grab Lemieux, and that, in Lemieux's mind, set the wheels in motion for the fist to fly.
Well, 2 Caps are in the box and just Lemieux in the other, and we'll see how they sort this out.
Referees tonight are Kelly Sutherland and Corey Sevrett. We're working with just one linesman tonight. That's Brad Kovacic, veteran linesman. Julian Fournier not available for tonight's contest as the penalties are doled out. Peter Laviolette, a very interested bystander, checking the scoreboard with just 1 minute and 32 seconds gone by in period 2. That's Kelly Sutherland explaining things to the timekeepers. Obviously,
he's not happy because
Lemieux is not pleased.
2 for roughing and 5 for fighting.
Head coach Todd McClellan, 3 wins from 500 in his career, guiding the LA Kings, who lost a 2-0 battle to Washington back on November 17th at Staples Center. Garnet Hathaway was the hero in that one, along with Ilya Samsonov. Samsonov backing up tonight, made 34 saves in Tinseltown for that win. Out-dueling Jonathan Quick, who had 36 in the contest.
And the Caps are going to get a power play out of this 2 minutes. That's why the faceoff's down in the LA zone. A chance to get a 2-0 lead here.
Lizotte and Lemieux in the box for LA. Malenstein and Van Riemsdyk have a seat for Washington. 5-on-4 as Locker details. Should be the second man advantage on the night for Washington. Eller, Orlov, Sprong, Carlson, and Ovechkin. These power play numbers that are powered by Hydro. A welcome to them and to all of our generous sponsors with the NHL on NBC Sports Washington. Carlson closing in, finds Ovechkin, fires off the post. The rebound clangs through the blue paint.
Couldn't hit that any cleaner. The short side post on a wrister from about the dot. Wide open was Alex Ovechkin.
That was a BB. Eller finding the loose puck, spins it on around for Orlov. It gets away from Dimitri, and Iafallo will clear. Alex Iafallo, 27-year-old New Yorker, does a little bit of everything for these Kings.
Pretty good for not being drafted, as 9 goals and 18 points. His numbers go up each and every year. The Caps called for an icing, but they had their best look. Alex Ovechkin has had 3 really good looks on the power play. Carlson, Ovechkin, and that is as dead to the post as you can possibly get. Cleanly beat as a goaltender. One more look.
Alex doesn't get a shot on goal for that. He leads the NHL in that category. Ugh, a shake of the head from Nastia.
Yeah.
Oh, so close to an NHL record. Kempe plays it on back for Durzi to dump in. 2.5 minutes gone by in the second. Washington halfway through the power play. Eller stretching his legs down the flank. A wrister that's deflected into the end zone netting for a whistle.
Good stick by the defenseman when Eller went around. Ovi, though, getting some good looks. Most power play goals in NHL history. We're waiting for him to be number 1 ahead of Andrew Chuck, who he's tied with, and Brett Hull, who he's already passed a long time ago.
Lizotte and Van Riemsdyk had the matching minors for roughing. Malenstein 5 for fighting. Lemieux 5 for fighting, but the additional rough on Lemieux giving Washington the power play chance. Wolanin hovering back behind the LA net. Schultz at point position. Plays it on for Protas. Inside Hathaway. That pass to Protas. Hathaway again. Bumps it for Sherry. Looking to Ovechkin. Fires. Pad save. Garrett Sparks, who has been sharp as a tack tonight.
I'd have to say this is the first time we're seeing Garnet Hathaway on the power play in the bumper position, Joe. They're always looking for a right shot. When Oshie's out, it's usually Wilson. Now with both of them out, Garnet, way to go. He gets the opportunity, and why not? He scored 2 goals against the Kings in the Caps' 2-0 win earlier this month.
Final 10 ticks, Locker, on this power play. Chance for Schultz to stroll back through center. Hathaway will send it around. One of those 2 tallies for Garnet was an empty netter that sealed the deal at Staples Center, soon to be renamed Crypto.com Arena. Off on the flank. Big slapper from Roy. Shrugged down by Vanacek. That was right around his ear.
You're always flashing the crypto.
Oh, yeah, that's me. That's definitely me. Stacked in crypto. Through center, Anderson, who is in the lineup. The Kings losing Philip Deneau to the COVID-19 protocol list earlier today.
His dad played 165 games in the National Hockey League, a lot in the Swedish League, and we all know his uncle, Mikael, who played over 750 games.
We have a slashing call coming up. 4 minutes and 9 seconds into the period. We have PenFed trivia, too. Who holds the record for most career games played by a player born in Virginia, as we focus in on Joe Snively right there.
Number 17, 2 minutes for slashing.
There's the call on Anderson. Snively, who hails from Herndon, VA, about 25 miles or so away.
There's only been 2 ever born and raised in Virginia to play in the National Hockey League. There's a slash. Anderson snaps the stick of Jensen. That is Zach Jones, who we saw at the end of last year for the Rangers, and now Joe Snively. They're the only 2 born and raised to play in the National Hockey League from Virginia.
Neither is the answer to our trivia question.
Correct.
Carlson roaming through center. Back-to-back power plays for the Caps, a chance to lengthen their lead with a third-man advantage. Sprong drops it. Carlson works it. Ovechkin settles. Snaps that pass with a lot of pace for Orlov. Feather it down low. All the way through Carlson. There's an Ovechkin drive. Stopped in front. Orlov feeds Carlson again. Alex a chance to reload the gun. Carlson hesitates. Plays a 2-man game with Dmitry Orlov. Looking in Ovechkin's direction. There's Orlov. Curl and drag move. Not going to get around Iafallo. Sprong tees it up for Ovechkin. 70 seconds in the man advantage.
They're not down a man, but they're down a leg. The defenseman that took that slap shot can hardly move his right leg in front of the net.
That's Dursey.
Yes, who got a doozy.
Well said. They change the rotation now. Work it to Orlov. Carlson. Then Ovechkin fires. Stabbed again. Sparks has been strong on those one-time bombs from Ovechkin.
And Dursey's smart leaning away from that one.
Carlson plays it for Orlov. Yeah, you'd be once bitten, twice shy, too.
Exactly.
Carlson feeds. Ovechkin closes. Fired. That's deflected off of the rink.
Alexander Ovechkin can't believe it. He's laughing. He had great looks on this power play, and he knows the record is coming sooner rather than later. And there's the doozy on Dursey off his right leg. They were down a leg on the penalty kill. He could not move. And then I see the smart play by Dursey saying, you know what, Sparks, you got a lot of equipment on. You take that one. And the D to the rescue with a good stick on puck on the third opportunity.
Alex Ovechkin had 8 shots against Winnipeg in the win a couple nights ago. Cashed in an empty netter to keep his point-scoring streak alive. The captain shuttles in from the blue line now to one-handed down low. Final 20 ticks on the man advantage, and Sparks is quick to cover.
Yeah, good stop right there. Sparks 190th pick in 2011. One of 26 all-time to record a shutout in his debut. He was the second last to do it. The last guy to actually do it was Zach McCauley.
Saw the back plate of the mask. You can just see a little hint of it. The back of the mask of Garrett Sparks, who hails from Illinois. He's got a Tony Esposito goalie mask on the back of his mask.
That's very cool. He grew up loving the Hawks. He also loved Belfour as a goaltender. And Trevor Kidd and Curtis Joseph is sort of the 4 guys he modeled the game after.
Kings in the white jerseys playing on out. Roy does the honors. 1 shot for the Caps on the power play. It came from Ovechkin. It was patted away. 13:40 to go in the second period. 1-0 for Washington, thanks to Connor McMichael in the first. Schultz, long wrister, snapped out of the air, shoulder high by Sparks. 6:25 gone by in the second. Washington front running here at home. Back in just a few moments. Moms and dads, listen up. Get your kids geared up for the season by registering them for the Caps Kids Club. Presented by Giant. Only $30. This annual membership features a one-of-a-kind membership kit, monthly newsletter, Caps ticket offers, and opportunities for exclusive Kids Club fun. To register, visit washcaps.com/kidsclub. Capitals team that is 6-1-1 in its last 8 in front of the locals. Those youngsters having fun in the front row. Seeing the Caps one better than LA. McMichael's 4th of the season from Snively at 758. Joe Snively making his NHL debut.
A lot of comfort for that trio that's now on the ice. The McMichael trio along with Snively. They played together before down in Hershey. Comfort for sure.
Schultz towards the cage. Leeson was setting the screen. Back comes Kaliev for the Kings. Lazat's snapper, no worries for Vanacek, although he left a pretty prime rebound there. There's a penalty call coming up.
And it's going to be a tripping call going against the Washington Capitals. The man down in the corner is the guy that's going to draw it, and that was Grundstrom. He's been all over the place here in this hockey game. I mean, he won a Calder Cup.
Number 2 minutes for tripping.
He played in Modo and Frölunda in the Swedish league.
Frölunda.
And you'll see the little trip, and he's a disbeliever. Is Schultz, but here it is just coming in. I don't believe that either. It looks like he got tangled up and wiped out himself.
Carl Grundstrom, who turned 24 back on the 1st of December. Vanacek taking a peek to his right. These power play numbers that are powered by Hydro. Durzi has seen a lot of power play time when LA's been given the opportunity.
I guess his leg's all right. He's worked the power play. He's worked the penalty kill and took that slap shot right off his leg from Alex Ovechkin.
As the Kings are whistled here for a hand pass, faceoff will come in neutral ice.
I like Kempe. I mean, the way he plays, he can go center, he can play wing. He used to be a center when he first broke in. They've moved him to the wing, and he's found a real nice home with Kopitar. He has great speed. He's got 11 goals, 7 points his last 13. This could be his breakout season for the 6-year vet.
Leads the Kings in goals, has a team-high 3-game winners as well. An LA squad that has 13 victories. They're tied for 5th in the Pacific. Caps began play today tied for 1st in the Metro with Carolina. Shorthanded Hathaway and the Kings don't get it out. That was a front door look for Iafallo that bounced over his blade. 1:25 left in the shorthanded situation. These Kings in the month of December are 17%. They're only 7% against Metro Division rivals in the campaign. Kempe full speed ahead. Kempe marked by Jensen. Around it comes. Dowd has time, and he'll clear.
They have no luck against the Metropolitan Division. They've been outscored 12-4 and lost 3 straight.
8 minutes down in the second. Another low-scoring contest between the Caps and Kings. Kopitar waltzing through center. Play it out wide. Brown gives it back to his captain. Play it on to the point for Durzi. Didn't get a lot of mustard on that slapper. Kaliev is a very good shooter, 34 in the white. Snapshot here blocked down with Brown setting the screen. Loose for Hagelin, and he'll swivel it back onto the LA side of the table. Quick up for Kaliev. Turned back again by Dowd. Earlier today, the Capitals learning of TJ Oshie and Michael Scarbosa landing on the COVID-19 protocol list. Sherry guides this one to the corner. Jensen with help. And right up the gut, Sherry will work. Getting wide on a 2-on-2. Orlov busting it to the net. That timing pass goes unanswered.
It looked like Orlov turned off because he thought Sherry was going to shoot the puck, and he was worried about getting back defensively.
Jensen sends it down low to Eller. Working on the outside. Ovechkin lets it fly. That was blocked. Broke the stick of the defender. Back comes Anderson. He'll skip it in to get the line change for Coach McClellan. Almost halfway home in this hockey game. Jensen will clear it in. Last home game for the Capitals before the Christmas holiday. Couple of games scheduled on the road in the week ahead. Kupari right up the gut there as it bounces towards Vanacek. It's into the corner. Van Riemsdyk looking after that loose puck. Held the line. Nice job crossing over by the defender, and then we get a whistle and a hooking call.
Yeah, it's going to go against the Kings for sure. You can see it all the way up here. Lazat's going to go, and he's not going to like it. Here comes the call.
Calling number 46. 2 minutes for hooking, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
And there he had too much to say to the referee. And with the 3-man crew, they don't want to hear any guff from any of the players. So he just says, you know what, I've heard enough. And Todd McClellan's team will have to go to the PK, and it's a big one. A 4-minute power play upcoming for the Caps. Here it is down low. There's the hook right underneath the hands of Schultz. Then after the call, he looked exactly at the referee, said a few choice words. Those are going to cost him an additional 2 minutes.
Blake Lazat's third game back off the COVID protocol list. He's boxed in. Locker told you for 4 minutes. These power play numbers powered by Hydro. Ovechkin fires, deflected away. Lars Eller turns it down low. Sprong let it come on through. Orlov gave it back down low. The Kings pounced on that. Eller takes the turnover, looks to Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin working down the dasher. Snap pass that was broken up. Eller allows the puck through for Orlov. Sprong turns it to Carlson. Sweep it out wide for Ovechkin. Iafallo tracking him down. Caps have it set well now. Orlov fades. Carlson didn't shoot it. Orlov playing catch with Eller. Sprong on the interior. Carlson, long wrister, broken up in front of Sparks. Still in the first minute of the power play of 4 for Washington, and the Kings will send him packing.
Pretty decent zone time. Not a whole lot of puck movement to the interior. They're going to score. They got to break them down here.
Capitals out shooting the Kings to this point in the game, 19-10. Alexei Protas on the hop through center with Sherry. Sprong bunts it into the corner. Sherry there. As the Kings swarm, Schultz takes a knee to keep it in. Protas drawing defenders to him. Sherry stuffs. Stopped by Sparks, and he'll cover.
That's an excellent play from at the top of the circle to down low, and because Connor's able to step out and shoot it on his forehand, he got a lot of mustard on that. That's an excellent stop into the body by Sparks. Here's Protas. Good heads-up play. Little sauce down low. Now he's on his forehand so he can take 2 steps and throw it at the net. That's a heck of a stop. Number 1, he stops it. Number 2, he does not give up any rebound for a second and third opportunity.
Sherry, who has goals in 2 straight, his lone power play goal this year at Tampa Bay. Schultz for Protas. Alexei Protas off the head fake. Ovechkin fires. That was blocked by Durzi. Got it with a stick this time. As the Kings, Sean Durzi will clear. Still 2:20 with which to work on the man advantage for Washington. 8.5 to go in the period.
And for Ovi, he goes up because he knows he's going to get another crack at it, and he'll be a little fresher here to start this next 2 minutes.
A pass looking for Hathaway. Garnett takes it. Heavily taken to the boards. Schultz switches it up. Snap pass down low into the glove of Sparks. He'll hang on.
Pushing and shoving at the end, and who's in the middle of it? Hathaway. He doesn't miss a beat. He can miss 10 days, 14 days, and he comes back and plays exactly the same. As some pushing and shoving ensues, but the Caps will maintain their power play. 2:03 to go on this double minor to Lazat. Here's Hathaway. We know he always brings the wrath of Hath. Here it is. Look at the guys around him. Gives a little stick. Kempe gives him a little shot, but he gets him real good with that left elbow.
Washington just 1 power play goal in the last 8 games. 22% on home ice are the guys in red. Trying to improve their lead against the Kings as we've crossed over the midway mark in regulation time. Wolanin drills it around the wall. Carlson staying strong there. Capitals flood this side, but Iafallo comes away with a biscuit. Alex Iafallo winds and drives right to the midsection of Vanacek, who took a little snow shower. Folks, Burke and Herbert Bank, they're once again donating $100 for every Caps goal scored to a deserving local nonprofit organization. This season, that's Grand Involved, Fairfax, Virginia-based organization, placing volunteers in local Title I elementary schools, doing a great job helping the kids with reading and math, library service, and so much more. Little ones enjoying the contest tonight. Connor McMichael, his 4th of the season from Snively at 7:58 of the opening period, and that's all she wrote. Washington on an extended power play with Lazat being hit with a minor and then a 2-minute misconduct, if you will. Puck out of play. Unsportsmanlike conduct on top of the original penalty, giving John Carlson and the Caps some bonus time on the power play.
I would have got a lot of those in the back when I played, I'll tell you that.
You chirp the refs a lot?
They were a little more lenient because after the game you'd have a beer with them.
I find it hard to think that you would chirp anybody on the ice. Really? It's only happened for 25 years. Carlson feeds. Ovechkin fires. That didn't get through. Orlov will settle things down. 80 seconds on the man advantage. Orlov hanging out. Looking to Eller. Tried to tiptoe right to the crease. Kings had him surrounded and Roy clears. 7:20 left in the period.
The Kings D may need some leg transplants at the end of this game. Oh my gosh, are they blocking shots?
A lot of ice bags.
Oh man.
Dursey will clear. Shots on goal up to 21 now for Washington. Final 50 seconds of the man advantage. First 3+ minutes fruitless for the Caps. Hathaway speeds down the flank, turning against the defense there of Tobias Bjornfot. We haven't mentioned him very often in this one so far. 20-year-old Swede.
He's slick back there. He's a real excellent skater, and as Swedes go, the hockey IQ's off the charts.
Protas through center. Sherry, then Hathaway. Sean Dursey shoulder to shoulder with Sherry. Ovechkin jumps into the corner to get the loose puck. Final 15 seconds of the man advantage. Schultz not going to get there in time. The Caps have to regroup. Just 2 shots on the entire 4-minute power play for Washington, which expires in 3 ticks. Schultz steps in, lets it go, turned away, follows and fires. Score! Justin Schultz.
Ovechkin-esque snapshot to the top corner. Did that ever whiz past the goalie's catching glove? He had one chance that was blocked. The second one he corralled and just roofed it. Nice little play here. Connor Sherry across to Schultz. Here's the first shot. Hits the forward mooring, picks it up, and talk about putting it upstairs. That is a wonderful shot. Right up there with the peanut butter. No chance for the goalie Sparks. He did everything he could do. Schultz on the board. It's 2-0 Caps.
Just as that 4-minute power play had expired, so that's an even strength goal for Justin. His first tally was a PPG on home ice way back in the home opener against the New York Rangers. Out come the Kings, trailing by 2 on enemy ice. As this is dumped in from behind the center stripe by Lemieux, it's icing against LA.
Didn't take that extra step, and they called it tightly at the red line. And Lemieux does not get it in. There's a look at Joe Snively. Led Yale in points all 4 years he was there. That's unheard of as a freshman through a senior. 139 points in 129 games. Well schooled with Keith Allain, our buddy back in the day, an assistant coach with the Caps from 93 to 97.
Was the Ivy League Rookie of the Year his first season on campus as Sparks makes the stop in the cover.
At one time he was also a Hobie nominated player too. He was that good in the college ranks.
Break time for us. We'll chat more about Snively, Faravari, and the rest of the Caps in just a few moments' time. Schultz has made the lead 2. Second of the season, giving the Caps a 2-0 lead. As we get you to the Hyundai assist leaders, Locker, these guys help out around the home front.
They sure do. Connor McDavid, the most assists on home ice with 19, ahead of Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri. Alex Ovechkin, 3 off the pace setter, and Connor McDavid.
5 minutes and 48 seconds to play in period 2, separating us from Integrate Intermission Live. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs. Al Koken's your rinkside reporter as we tip our hats to all the men and women in our technical crew for all of their efforts. Wishing all of them a happy holiday season. 2 goals for the Caps on the board, McMichael and Schultz. Schultz most recently from Sherry and Hathaway. Caps looking for more here. Sparks with the denial from point-blank range there.
Yeah, and you're talking about that last goal. Connor Sherry now is high with a 5-game point streak. He's never had that before. He's had a 4-gamer, but not a 5-gamer. So way to go, Connor, on that goal by Justin Schultz.
Sherry and Dmitry Orlov leading the team with 3 game-winning goals after Sherry provided one in Winnipeg on Friday.
He's really heating up big time. I mean, his wheels, he's been able to separate, create openings, create advantages, and it's all because of his skating ability.
Lizotte motors out of his own zone. Backtrack there by Snively. Get it out wide for Kaliev. Arthur Kaliev. Stuff attempt from Lemieux. Kicked loose and back behind the Washington net. Vanacek gets his goalie stick back in the nick of time. With 5 minutes to go in the period. Snively from his knees turns it on. Caps looking for the odd man rush. Malenstein's pass deflected and put out of play by Olli Mata.
Nice effort there by Snively, making sure he got the puck up to his running mates, and that allowed the Caps a quick break. You know, when you're not that big, you've got to do a lot of other things, and Snively does that. He's tenacious on the puck, he's in your face, and he's always moving. And to me, he looks a lot like Connor Sherry. That's the type of player you could see him mold into. And a nice little up. Malenstein sort of gives the fake a little deception and lets it fly before McMichael can get to the net.
Dowd wins the draw for Washington. Schultz towards the cage, stopped out in front. Quick counterattack, sending away the Kings. It's Arvidsson. Nice recovery by Van Riemsdyk.
Why do you think the coaching staff loves TVR? I mean, just effortless the way he shrugs him off when he gets a step on him. He's such a fluid skater that he's able to stay step and just push him aside to not allow a chance for the Kings.
That long pass turned out to be an icing call. Just a reminder, we're working with 3 officials tonight. 2 of them are referees.
And here's TVR making it look so easy against the fancy Dan and Arvidsson. I mean, they brought him in to have more offense. They say that he's having a good year, has 6 goals, but he's generally a 30-goal guy, and that's what the Kings expect. But defensively, that was a flawless play against a very fast player.
Arvidsson over 400 NHL games on his ledger, a guy who's missed 7 games this season due to COVID protocol. Bjornfoot's blast catches the glass, and this will skip back to center.
I'm sure back in the day, one of Laviolette's favorites when it comes to Nashville and the Predators.
Slams on the brakes, looks for Bjornfoot, walks in and fires. Cuffed at by Vanacek. He got it with a glove. Save number 13 on the day for Vitek. Vanacek, who has been really good over his last couple outings. Stopped 72 of the last 86. That should be more than that, right? 82 of 86, if I do the math right. And 13 and counting this time around. Kempe at center, resurfacing for the Kings. LA will head home to host Edmonton on Wednesday. That's at least in the schedule, but soon to be, and we understand, postponed. So much of the scheduling in the National Hockey League changing day to day.
Especially working around the breakup coming. Every team will have 24th, 25th, and 26th off for the holiday break.
Ovechkin from the angle, stopped there by Sparks.
High stick, and the Caps will go to the power play. Nice job. Looked like TVR was net driving, got clipped up high. The Caps will have a power play.
The Capitals have had a ton of power play time so far tonight. They'll get it again, too, when we return on NBC Sports Washington. Alex Ovechkin.
And it's all about chances. Backhand, forehand. Howitzer off the leg of the defender. Defender tries a dipsy-do, is denied. Gets coached up by Laviolette. Another chance in the power play. That off the post. His wife and son can't believe it, nor could I. He has been a shooting machine here tonight. He's getting a lot of openings. The Kings, not great coverage, not cloaking him. And he has another chance on the power play for the record.
Chance to set the NHL's all-time record right here. With Christian Wolanin in the sin bin, 3:18 left in the second. An LA team that's in the top 5 when it comes to shots on goal per game. Only 13 for them to this point. Long wrister. Caps settle in for the 5-on-4. Ovechkin chasing after Kopitar. Kopitar clears.
You wonder why he wins 2 Selke awards. Just so smart defensively, works the draw, then gets that puck cleanly down the ice.
Iafallo centering pass here, a big score! Lizotte, who tallied last night, has just sliced Washington's lead in half.
He's got a good set of mitts, a shorty against the Caps, and all of a sudden, that gives them some momentum. What a shot, a beauty last night, and another one here tonight. Good turnover by the Iafallo line, playing on the penalty kill and coming off the bench. And that gives him speed. No one realizes that whole left side is open. Notice the line change. It was Kopitar going off after he swiped the puck down the ice. Lizotte jumps on in an exchange, and he finds a lot of daylight and puts it exactly where he needed to put it.
For the Kings, their second shorty of the season. For Washington, the fourth that they've surrendered. Caps still on the power play for another 128 in what is now a 2-1 game. Schultz swings the cage and heads back up ice with speed. Drops it off now for Alexei Protas. Protas full gallop at the line, offside against the Capitals.
Yeah, did he have some good head of steam there against Lizotte and company, trying to hold the line, and just that little fidget of the puck at the line threw it offsides. I like the play of Lizotte. He's another guy that was never drafted out of St. Cloud State in the college ranks, and he's done really well since joining the Kings.
Turned 24 last week, did Lizotte, native of Minnesota. Schultz, who has the lead goal for Washington here in the second at even strength. Protas delivers to Sherry, then Hathaway on the flank. Dursey gets into Sherry, knocks him down. Mikey Anderson is there on the job defensively for the Kings. Just a little bit more than 2 minutes with which to work in the second. 45 seconds left in the Washington power play. Back come the Kings 2-on-2. Moore with Kempe. Kempe to the outside. Moore clicked that one off of Van Riemsdyk.
And I don't think Laviolette was none too pleased with a shorthanded goal given up late in the period on another power play. And because of that, a totally different unit, including 2D out there instead of the normal one, and no Ovechkin to finish off the rest of the power play.
20 seconds in the man advantage. Sparks on the intercept. Roy plays it on the curve. Carlson there. Settle it down. Sprong. Carlson this way. Long slapper. That was a sizzler from Faravari. Winds up off of the rink.
So utilizing 2D men to try to get that puck to the net. Ovi will step over the boards now and get another crack at it, but just 6 seconds left. That was a good blast from Faravari. Nice pass by Carlson, faking it. Faravari, a rocket just over that blocker side of the goaltender Sparks, and that was a roller right off the crossbar and out the other side.
6 seconds left in power play number 6 for Washington in this game. Roy will use the boards. That was a shotless power play for the Capitals, who are now 1 for their last 21 overall.
And usually you mentioned they get a lot of shots to the Kings. The Caps are suppressing that, but their Kings team also is a team that has been very good, not taking a lot of penalties. So I'm not sure how many more chances you're going to get from the guys in white tonight.
Into the McNugget minute of the second period, with the Caps on top by 1. Brown working to the outside. Snap pass to the doorstep, looking for Iafallo, who had his hockey stick tied up. Alex Ovechkin plays it ahead. Lars Eller carefully to drop it in. Eller and Sprong and Ovechkin have been aligned tonight. Capitals losing the services of TJ Oshie and Mike Scarbosa to COVID protocol today. Another shakeup in the line combinations for Coach Laviolette and his staff. On the go, it's Nick Dowd, happily returning to active duty after missing the Winnipeg game. Orlov well up in the play. Dimitri with the final 11 seconds of the period. Kings force it back through center. Anderson has a final thrust. Elias Anderson snapshot snagged by Vanacek with 2.4 to go.
What do you want from your sportsbook? The best odds? Same game parlays you can boost for even more? You want to live your bet life. New customers get risk-free bets up to $2,000.
Capitals and Vitek Vanacek living on the edge here, Drew, with a 2-1 lead and 2.4 to go. Lemieux steps in to take this draw. Nick Dowd entrusted with those responsibilities for Washington.
And really, he's going to go forward. He's a left shot. He's going to try to throw it to the net.
Dowd picked it clean on his backhand as the second period siren sounds. 40 minutes in the books with Washington on top.
Well, the inability on the power play, and they could have been out and running with a lead, but not so quickly. And shorthanded goal has given Sparks and his team some life. Schultz, the only marksman in the second period.
A very well-placed snapshot upstairs on Garrett Sparks as the Kings file off to the dressing room. The Caps do the same. Washington, single game before the holiday break, mixing it up with the LA Kings. 2-1 after 2. Integrate Intermission Live. Alexa Landestoy and Alan May. A very nice montage of all the highlights, the faces in the crowd, the action on the ice, the captain agonizing over what is now a 2-1 advantage for his Washington Capitals after Blake Lizotte scored in the second period, shorthanded. A little less than 3 minutes to go in that frame. Anze Kopitar and the Kings are within one. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin with you. Al Koken, your rinkside reporter. LA heading home after tonight. Roy with an early chance on Vanacek, who made the blocker save.
That was a tough save too, Joe, because of the lateral pass. It was boards to boards, and Vanacek, real good movement with his feet side to side.
Jensen puts it back onto the LA side. This Kings team ending a 4-game road trip. No easy outs on this excursion. Tampa, Florida, Carolina, and now Washington.
And then thank you very much. You face Edmonton when you get back home.
That game postponed, right? Because teams are not going to cross the border with what's going on lately with regard to COVID protocol. Once again, a storyline today as the Caps lose both TJ Oshie and Scarbosa. Ovechkin's pass just out of reach for the driving John Carlson, who is looking to get to the post. Carlson feathers it down low for Lars Eller. Eller walked to the corner by Durzi. Carlson lets it go. A pad save for Sparks. Garrett Sparks, who jumps back into the NHL action. This is the third different team with which he's worked. LA dealing with its own COVID-19 protocol issues. They don't have Cal Peterson, netminder, who was put on the list yesterday. Still running without Drew Doughty in that regard. Sherry, who's been a hero for Washington in recent days, will send this one down low. Mikey Anderson there for the Kings to start it back. At point position, long wrister sent wide of the goal from Schultz, who has the lead marker in this game. A game that's featured Herndon, Virginia's own Joe Snively, who picked up his first NHL point in the opening period. An assist on a Connor McMichael goal.
Yeah, so far for Joe, about 5.5 minutes of work through the first 40.
Mom and dad, friends and family in the stands. The clubs are going. It's Lias Anderson.
And Connor Sherry, I think.
Broken up quickly. Remember, there's only one linesman in this game tonight. That's Brad Kovacic, separating the two combatants.
Cheated up. I think that shorthanded goal really sort of tilted in the favor of the LA Kings scoring late like that.
17, Washington penalty number 73, 2 minutes each for roughing.
Wow, just 2 apiece for Anderson and Connor Sherry. Thought both would get 5.
Didn't take long for the mitts to start flying. 2 and 11 gone by in the third. 2-1 for Washington. Capitals team this season against the Western Conference 6-1-4. The lone regulation loss to the West to the Seattle Kraken. Peter Laviolette barking his instructions. Coach extremely pleased with the way the team banded together north of the border in Winnipeg on Friday.
A perfect example of will over skill. And that's the type of game this is turning into. Who's going to wilt and who isn't? Caps need this next one.
Some open ice out there, some 4-on-4 hockey. Wolanin, his second tour of duty with the Kings. 86 in the white.
Yeah, he's picked up on waivers by Buffalo, and then they picked him up off waivers from Buffalo, and they try to sneak him through to Rochester.
Jensen on for Nick Dowd. Dowd trundles this into the LA zone. Roy is there first. He'll reverse to Wolanin. On the go, 26-year-old Christian Wolanin, then Roy. Knifing in, a pad save. Big rebound, they score! This game is tied off of a juicy rebound. Wolanin pounced.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. He's one guy that doesn't mind joining the attack. He just jumped right up in the play. He made his debut this year. He's been bouncing around. He gets opportunities. He gets some games here and there. He actually played against the Caps earlier on this season against the Buffalo with the Buffalo Sabres, and this one just squirts 5-hole. And the follow-up rebound, the juicy rebound, comes right out to Wolanin, the defenseman coming into the attack. And he's on the board, and we're 2 apiece.
2:50 into the third period. Locker spoke of his father, Craig, who would have been a Stanley Cup winner back in '96 with the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, he was a steady Eddie for sure.
Arvidsson moves it back. A 4-on-4 goal for LA has tied it. Arvidsson looking for another one now on the relay from Iafallo. Forced back by John Carlson. They continue the cycle, do the Kings. Iafallo being hawked by Faravari and pushed back to center.
And with it being man for man, that's why Wolanin was able to find himself so wide open. A missed pickup. They didn't sort out. They didn't pick him up going to the net, and they didn't expect that big juicy rebound. And a lot of things happened on the tying goal here against the Caps.
Still 4-on-4 for another 38 seconds with Sherry and Anderson in the sin bin. Eller at the end of his shift will leave it back for Van Riemsdyk. Trevor starts the break for Washington. Alexei Protas overlapping through center. Protas keeps it on the boards to Van Riemsdyk. Getting past Moore. Protas feeds the slot area. That was shanked. Taken on the run. Schultz once more. That point position has to be careful now. As Moore almost chipped that one by him, we get the whistle.
The captain with the puck right now as the play is blown dead. He's played close to 21 minutes, the most by far of any skater here in this hockey game. A lot of that comes off the power plays that he's had to work on with the 6 power plays they had through 40 minutes. But that is a ton of ice time for Alex Ovechkin. There's the numbers, over 20.5 minutes. It's been a constant since the season started that he's over 20, but this game he may be up above 25 once again.
That goal for Wolanin, the first time the Kings have scored 4-on-4 this season, and the first 4-on-4 goal the Caps have allowed in the campaign. Game number 31 tonight for Washington. The Caps, who had the 2-0 advantage, have seen it dissolve into a 2-2 score. Roy will keep it on the woodwork for Kempe. Past Hagelin and on to Kopitar, who's been very good at the face-off dot tonight. Brown fires, stopped there by Vanacek. He paddles this rebound back behind the net. Jensen turns it on for Leeson. Brett Leeson hits the Jets, goes for Hagelin. Hagelin hits the brakes. Leeson opens up back behind the goal. Collared there by Roy. You get an ice level look at the fray out of the corner. Communication aplenty. McMichael bear hugged by Lemieux. Malenstein throws it back to McMichael. He'll play it topside to Faravari. As we're 5-on-5 now, just past the 5-minute mark in the third. Malenstein opens up. His pass back to point position, too hot there for Carlson to handle. John will retreat. With points in 10 of his last 15, Carlson passing Mike Ridley recently. He's number 8 all-time in point scoring for the Caps now, the Washington rear guard.
I think before it's all said and done, he'll be in top 3. I think it'll be Bakios, Ovechkin, and Carlson when it's all said and done.
Vanacek will hold on, 5:41 into the third.
There's John Carlson. He eats up the minutes. It's usually him we're talking about. But, I mean, he's had in his career against the Kings pretty good numbers. 10 points in now his 17th game. His career all-time, closing in under 850, over 500 points. Impressive.
The only man on the score sheet in this third period, Wolanin from Roy, 4-on-4 at the 250 mark, making this a brand new game. Van Riemsdyk driving wide. Anderson will snare for the Kings. Off the boards and down with enough pace. Not going to be icing, though. Washed out by the linesman Kovacic.
Because Schultz is too good of a skater. He got up to that puck in a hurry.
Ovechkin at the attacking line with Sprong. Daniel will send it hard around. Goals in 2 straight for number 10 in red. Centering pass poked away by Sparks. Following chance was gloved out of town there. Long slapper comes high. As we are 5-on-5 in the third, even in full strength, and Moore works in for Arvidsson. That wrister that was spoiled on the way. Ovechkin and Sprong getting on the same page together.
That was a huge hit by Eller on Anderson, their defenseman. He went rattling into the boards.
Capitals hemmed in their own zone. Van Riemsdyk finds the outlet. It's Alexei Protas. Only as far as the LA line. Kupari comes roaring back in. Rasmus Kupari backhand. That hit Vanacek up high. It triggers the break for Hathaway and the Caps. Sherry putters this one into the corner. Kupari got back there quickly, and Hathaway booms him to the boards. Protas kicks it free. Hathaway goes topside. Jensen maneuvering there. A wrister that was deflected wide of the goal. 26-20. Washington has the shots on goal lead. Jensen swerves away from Grundstrom. Taken on the move by the dangerous Kopitar. Angers gets to the outside. That big body protecting the puck.
Keep it out of the middle a little more often for the Caps here in the third period. It's the second time they threw it up the gut, and twice it was intercepted.
Fans getting noisy inside of Capital One Arena. Caps next up, a date with the Flyers on Tuesday as Jensen guns it in. Kempe waiting. Leeson finds Hagelin. His pass intercepted. Brown goes back 3-on-3. Leaves it in his wake. Vanacek gets the blocker up on Kopitar. Dowd is there to tend to him defensively. Nick Dowd in possession of the puck. Dowd sends it wide. Leeson wants to play it to the end wall for Hagelin. They like to work it from the trapezoid. Dowd roughed up along the corner boards by Kempe. Tiny little cross checks to the small of the back. Carlson has room to operate. Feeds it to Hagelin. Work it up top. This one's kicked out. Rebound, and a sprawling netminder gets over with a help from the defender. Roy with a block shot there. Carlson fakes. Feeds off of a bench change here. Sparks made the stop. Snively with a rip there.
Did he ever fly off that bench? And that caught everybody by surprise. They were just watching, and he had a good lane to the net for his first goal.
Snively throws a big hit in the corner. Knocked down Lizotte at point position. Anderson playing a 2-man game. They keep it on the perimeter. McMichael with a take back. Caps will play through center. Mallenstein into the corner. McMichael there against Anderson. They go to the dasher. Snively makes the rip-off. His pass to McMichael. Put it on top here. Schultz gracefully at the attacking line. Almost halfway through the third. Snively with a good little lift check there from a knee. Feeds. McMichael fires. Stopped by Sparks. And he'll cover up.
Excellent shift by the McMichael line. The fans are on their feet. The Caps looking for that go-ahead goal.
Snively doing it at both ends. Offensively and then defensively. With a crunching hit on Lizotte. Back for more in the third. Heads up, Mom. We see you.
Hockey Western Raiders. He got his start. Look at the youngster. Then he went on to the Washington Little Capitals. Then went on to college, and you name it. It's been a great storybook game for him tonight. Joe Snively in his debut. His dad a coach. in this area, so that's a good sign for the youngster.
Father Richard, Mom Hope, leading the cheers in the stands. There they are, center screen.
I think Mom more than Dad. Dad looks a little subdued. Hey, I've got to watch the game here. I got to look at what's happening here. I got to look at the plays.
How proud must they be? How proud were you of Kyle when he landed in Division I at Providence?
You're always proud of your kids, Joe. I mean, I'm proud of everything they've accomplished, both Courtney and Kyle, and both of them had a chance to play college hockey, which was fantastic for them.
Point drive coming again to the breadbasket of Sparks. Sparks now good for 29 saves. There's that Tonio mark.
Yeah, I love it. Huh? It's a good-looking mask back in the day, Tonio. I think a lot of the older goalies had great. I like Jerry Cheever's mask back in the day, too.
Definitely. That tribute to Joe Snively brought to you by BMW, your Washington DC BMW centers. Snively and the Caps in a 2-2 game with the visiting Kings. A chance now for Kempe on the backhand. Scores! Did he ever shoot it?
I don't think he did,
Or
Joe.
did it roll in cleanly?
I think the goaltender, Vitek, thought he was going to move it on his backhand, and he didn't, and it rolled under the right pad. Wow. Shock value here in Washington at Capital One Arena. Wow. Let's take a look. He didn't mean to do what he just did, but here's Kempe coming in, and there it is. It rolls and then bounces. That is a break of the century. He did not mean to do that. If he did, that's superior hockey. No, he got a bounce, and it bounces off the end of his stick, the top of his blade, right here when he goes to his backhand. And it pops up and over Vitek. A lucky marker for Kempe. I question why he was so wide open there. No one picked him up. Semi-breakaway, and the Kings have shocked everybody here in town.
Two tallies a little less than 7 minutes apart from Wolanin and Kempe, making this a 3-2 game. Still half of the third period left for Washington to rally on home ice. Arvidsson's parked in front there, the backhander from Moore that goes wide. Now the Kings are about to go on a power play. Sparks racing to the bench, extra attacker on for Todd McClellan's Kings.
Now it was going to be a little hook. A misplay down low leads to a hook, and now the Caps have to play PK as they'll go off for the hooking minor down low.
Washington,
TVR will
number
have a seat.
57, 2 minutes, hooking.
And it's a pretty easy call. I mean, they had men down in front of the net. They 2-on-1 the Caps defender, and it's a big hook. This is a huge kill now for Laviolette's team. Here's Iafallo working down low. They 2-on-1 the Caps defender, and there's the hook down low against the Kings. The Caps go to the PK.
These power play numbers that are powered by Hydro, fourth advantage for Anze Kopitar and the Kings. Kopitar set to take this face-off.
That was a pretty good move by Trevor Moore, making sure he tried to get into open space, causing the hook by TVR.
Kings get their power play formation set quickly. Dursey fires, deflected wide. 3-2 LA now with 9:45 to go in the third here at Capital One. Dursey, long way from the cooker, deflection. Vanacek gets a piece of that.
There's nothing fancy about this power play. It's simply a shooting power play. Get it at the point and try to get it on net.
Cross rink to Kopitar. Forced there by Hathaway. Takes the relay from Kempe. Kopitar jammed it to the interior of the Washington D. Orlov poised to play it around the dasher, but not out just yet. Hathaway in the board battle with Kopitar. Dursey will stretch it. Dursey feeds. Gets it back up top. Change it to Kopitar. Hathaway in the shooting lane. Kopitar dragging Capital defenders to him. Goes back door there. Looking for Arvidsson. That'll click away. And Lars Eller gallops through center one-on-one.
The Capitals fortunate there. A smart play by Jensen. If he doesn't tip that puck with the end of his stick, it's a layup off the far post.
Wolanin, one of the two goal scorers for the Kings in the third. Drops it off. 44 seconds left. Shorthanded for Washington. The time remaining in the Van Riemsdyk minor. 8.5 in the hockey game. A Washington team that is 13-3-3 in its last 19 overall. On the go through center. skied wide of Vanacek, played by Carlson. John offers the backhand ahead to Hagelin. Tape to tape for Nick Dowd. Dowd cruising in, lost it on the cradle there. Back comes Lias Andersson, sprinting through center. Dustin Brown, cross rink, played by Malenstein. Heave-ho, and away you go.
That was a much-needed kill. That's a good job. Getting TVR out of the sin bin. The Caps now have to go to work to tie it up.
LA had only one shot on the power play. They have 24 for the game. Lizotte sends it in. It was the Lizotte shorthanded goal that sparked the Kings tonight. They were trailing Washington by 2 on enemy ice.
Yeah, and it was the power play ineffectiveness. Also, the Caps could have put this game way out of hand if they had struck on one of their 6 power plays tonight. Instead, they give up a shorty, as you mentioned.
Sherry working to the outside, trying to get it to Ovechkin. That was played by a high stick. We get the whistle and the stoppage in play. 7:23 to go in the third. Washington and Ovechkin in catch-up mode. The Kings have a 3-2 lead. Earlier tonight, we asked you this Pen Pet trivia question with regard to Joe Snively, hailing from Herndon, VA. Who holds the record for most career games in the NHL played by a player born in Virginia? I'm going to guess Scott LaChance.
I'm going to go Eric Weinrich.
Okay. Eric Weinrich?
Yep.
Wino. Nice call. Wow.
And
Lock air.
happy 65th birthday today to Eric Weinrich.
No, 65?
No, 55.
Yeah, there he is with the birthday inflation again.
He played for 8 different teams.
Hey, by the way,
over 1,000
How did
games.
you pull that?
Because he's from Roanoke. Come on.
He's from Roanoke.
How'd you pull Scott LaChance?
I know Scott LaChance. He's from Charlottesville.
No, the only
Don't
reason
you know?
I know that is every game we did on his 8 teams that he played, I said he was from Roanoke.
Who's this, Wino?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, by the way, did you know that he's from Roanoke, Virginia?
Eric Weinrich, the answer to the question. Alex Ovechkin back to the bench in an ornery mood as the team has squandered a 2-goal lead. LA has roared back with the last 3. Faravari hoping to change that. Dursey bumped into the official there. Corey Severette.
What was our coach back in the day that said never take your foot off a snake?
Schoenfeld.
Yeah, there you go. That's what's happened tonight.
Jim Schoenfeld.
Yeah, Big Red.
Not from Virginia. No. You got Eric Weinrich right. That's fantastic.
There's a lot of gifts during the holidays.
Oh, gifts. Now I understand. Arvidsson worms his way out of the corner. I was just happy I knew Scott LaChance.
That's a good one, though. I did not know that.
Was he close? I don't even know if he's close to Weinrich.
I think he was, probably. He played a lot of years, LaChance.
He did. Snapshot there from Carlson as Sparks left his skates to make that stop. 30 in the game for Garrett Sparks. Subbing in for Cal Peterson, who's on the COVID-19 protocol list. Jonathan Quick backing up Sparks. Samsonov backing up Vanacek for the Capitals in this 3-2 game. Less than 6 minutes to go in the third. Icing against Washington.
Capitals not finding any open space now here in the third period. This is clampdown time for the visitors, the Kings. Still got a little bit of Daryl Sutter in them. I don't care what you say. They're still proud of their defensive play. They don't score a lot, so they have to play this way. And they're going to try to shut down Carl and company the rest of the way.
Capitals missing Tom Wilson for a 4th game since he was injured here against Pittsburgh. Looked good at the morning workout, hoping that he'll be ready to go perhaps by Tuesday night when the Caps are at Wells Fargo Center. Kuznetsov, Backstrom, Oshie, Scarbosa now on COVID-19 protocol. TJ Oshie, the only December birthday on the Washington roster. TJ turns 35 on Thursday. Caps and the Islanders at their new barn. Grundstrom, snapshot. That went wide. Leeson looking after Wolanin with 5.5 to go. Mikey Anderson hatchets one towards the goal. Grundstrom takes it in, knocked away by Schultz, who sprinkles it on for Hagelin, and away comes Washington 2-on-2. Van Riemsdyk on the cutback. Van Riemsdyk settles, feeds it cross rink, deflected before it landed on Leeson's tape. Wolanin getting things sorted out for Anderson. Around the boards and cleared by Kapari.
You can hear all the chatter down low. Here, move the puck. They have to have a lot of conversations and a lot of communications, especially when you're trying to defend. And that's what the Kings did there on that play below the tops of the circle.
Orlov on the move. Sprong closing in. Fires! Sparks stayed with it. Ovechkin using the backboards to get it to Orlov. A Washington team that's won 7 of the last 11 in the regular season against LA and 5 straight overall. On the move, taken back. Kempe steps in and fires. That's broken up by Jensen. Mata keeps it alive. Time ticking, 4:25 to go in the third. Caps post-game live to follow, presented by your DC area Acura dealers. The A-team, Alexa, Allen, and Al Koken, all will be joining you for that. Washington hoping to get the equalizer very soon. Orlov heads back up ice. Dmitry tried to finagle between 2 defenders. Ovechkin pushed back to center. Alex strong on his stick against Moore. Getting help now from Jensen. 5-on-5 play with 3:50 to go in the third.
And there's a prevent defense, much like the Caps in the neutral zone. 1-3-1, just trying to stall the Caps, not allow them any skating room.
Sherry knifing in. Sherry fires. That's deflected by Durzi. Caps still in business at the offensive end. Sherry maneuvers to the corner. Plays it on top. Faravari cross ice. Carlson screen developing. Snapshot blocked. Another chance on the backhand. Also kicked down and stopped by Sparks.
Fabulous cover up by Sparks, because look at Hathaway, it's still mauling guys in front of the net. Everybody gets involved, a huge pig pile, and Hathaway's in the middle of it. Couldn't get that juicy rebound off the shoulder pads of the goaltender Sparks.
Locker, we need a TV timeout. Back for the final 3:23 of regulation right after this. Sounds like a pretty simple formula,
Yeah,
doesn't it, Alexa?
Yeah.
Let's see if the Caps can make it play out. Alex Ovechkin, riding a 7-game point-scoring streak, has been held off the sheet to this point. McMichael from Snively, Schultz from Sherry, and Hathaway made a 2-zip for the Caps, but since Lizotte, Wolanin, and Kempe for the Kings. 3-2 LA with 3 and change to go in the third. Kempe works to the interior. Closed off by Faravari. The Capitals help down on Brown. We'll keep our eye on Vanacek, see when Peter Laviolette will lift him for the extra attacker. Alexei Protas along the boards, not going to get through Roy.
It's got to get in deeper there. It can't just go halfway, because as Alan was mentioning, they're just sagging. Even in the neutral zone, as soon as the Caps get speed, they're sagging into their own zone. They want the Caps to put it in play so they can quickly get back and try to get it out.
Still 5-on-5 with 2.5 to go. Faravari chisels that away from Arvidsson. Vanacek being asked to make his way to the bench. 6 attackers out there in red. Alex Ovechkin on the hop through center. Drills it off the back glass. On the wall, Sprong, pinched by Durzi. 5 and 6 players in that scrum. Referees letting the boys play. As it's bounced loose, away come the Kings. Arvidsson through center. Iafallo next. This one clicks into the Washington bench for the whistle.
Maybe too cute of a pass there. It looked like they had some daylight to skate with the puck. Iafallo and company.
You put Vitek back?
Yes, immediately.
2:02 to go. Vanacek does come off the bench. So we're back to 5-on-5 with the Capitals looking for the equalizer. Caps scored the first goal, 6 of the last 7. Had the first 2 today, if you're just tuning in late with us. The NHL on NBC Sports Washington. LA has rallied.
And both teams have their available timeout. in their back pocket. We'll see if the Caps or the Kings have to utilize that.
Roy has 2 assists in this third period. He'll play it for Kempe. He'll drive it in. The Kings' leading goal scorer has the lead goal for the moment. Eller badgering Brown. Knocks the puck free. Once the Caps get possession and across that center line, you would think, here comes Vanecek again. 1:37 to go. Eller feeds for Sherry. He'll soccer style that one. Back behind the LA goal, guarded by Garrett Sparks. 90 seconds to play.
That was good wall work by all 3 Kings, a defenseman, a center, and the winger to chop that puck out of harm's way.
On the boards, Brown turns it back to center. 1:15 to go.
Not sure why he passed it to the middle there. Brown is a veteran guy. He played the most games in Kings history, and he should have simply threw it up the wall. An icing call as the Capitals try to get that puck in.
That pass went right through Ovechkin. He didn't touch it. So the linesman Kovacic says icing. Vitek Vanecek gets back off the Washington bench. 3-2 for LA. Washington down the Kings 2-0 about a month ago at Staples Center. LA trying to return the favor. Moore against Eller. Lars gets control. Finally. In the McNugget minute of the third. Ovechkin sends it to the wing. Vanecek to the bench. Extra attacker on. Sparks keeps it outside for Roy. Orlov there to work on the forecheck. Kings will play it off the dasher and down. As Carlson gets back, this is icing against LA. The Kings did not appreciate it. Your Miller Lite moment. The shorthanded goal for LA's Blake Lizotte.
Yeah, the Caps were in total charge. They were up 2-0. They go to another power play. Good work by Iafallo. No one picks up Lizotte coming off the bench, and he puts it under the bar on a nifty shot. And to me, that totally changed this game around. It gave LA life. All of a sudden, they had more energy. They were more assertive, and they put the Caps on their heels, and they stormed back here on the road, their last game of their road trip.
Todd McClellan very disappointed by that icing call.
Oh, is he ever?
Letting his feelings be known. His squad has 40.8 seconds left to endure. In the middle of that huddle, assistant coach Blaine Forsythe hopefully drawing up a tying tally for the Caps. Washington in the month of December alone, Locker, has a couple of pulled goalie goals.
Yep.
Dramatic tallies.
For sure. Connor Sherry's had one late in the game. We'll see if that happens again. And I think, you know, McClellan's yelling and screaming. Had there been 4 officials, it might have been a different call. Who knows what the call would have been, but with one guy, it's very difficult.
Linesman Julian Fournier was unable to work this evening's game, so the referees Sutherland and Savret have been working with Brad Kovacic in a 3-man system. Fans getting up out of their seats. Sears Capital One. Eller wins the draw. Carlson steps, feeds. The blast coming. Knocked high. Sparks got the blocker up on Orlov. 32 seconds to go. Eller in a foot race. Orlov there to help. Bounced loose. Sprong beats Iafallo. Eller working it. Orlov topside. Carlson. 6-on-5. 20 seconds to go. Orlov unloads. Pad save. Rebound loose. It just squirted away from Ovechkin. 13 seconds left. Carlson closing, fakes the blast. Orlov gives it back. Handcuffing Carlson there at the line, offside against Washington.
Well, for the linesman, he was right there to make that call. Unlucky there for Alex Ovechkin. He had a wide open net with 5.5 to go here. And it's going to be a tough go to get this goal here to tie this up outside the blue line. Here's the shot by Orlov. What a save. And look at Ovi. He's wide open. Mikey Anderson might have got a piece of it with his skate just to redirect it out of harm's way before the Caps could tie it up here.
Neutral zone draw. 5.5 to go. Kings get control off the glass and out. The Los Angeles Kings come to town at the end of a road trip and pick up an impressive 3-2 win over the Capitals.
And Sparks was impressive for the Kings. I mean, the Caps threw 35 shots his way. He allowed a couple. He hadn't played since October of 2019 in mop-up fashion when he was with Vegas. He had his A game tonight, did Sparks, against the guys in red.
With 33 saves in the process and a bunch of big bear hugs coming his way, LA and Washington split the season set, each winning on the other's home turf.